Hey guys, so when I was really severely depressed and anxious, depersonalized, something I did all the time was search Google, YouTube, any blogs I could find, looking for people that had similar experiences to me, whether it be through depression, anxiety, how suicidal were they, what medications were they on, what worked for them, what didn't work for them. I was constantly searching the internet, and I've learned a few things and I've adapted a few things in my life that I think would be useful to know. One, if you are sick in any way, shape, or form, mentally, physically, use the internet carefully. You probably heard this before, but it bears repeating. Don't go into any aspect of research ready to specifically compare yourself to someone else's problem. You are not that other person. You might have things in common, but you also have differences. You might not know those differences. They might not be highlighted in the information you're receiving, but you got them. And you have to take those differences into consideration. For example, I was always looking for time frames. I was obsessed with fucking time frames. I wanted to know how long it was going to take for this antipsychotic to work, for this antidepressant to work, how long before I start to feel better from my clinical depression, how long is it normal to have suicidal thoughts. I wanted times, I wanted specifics, I wanted answers, and then I would compare myself to other people. This really was very problematic and detrimental because everyone's different and we don't take those differences into consideration. So while some person might get better within 3 to 6 months in a major depressive episode, for example, it might take another person a year. It might take another person a year and a half. You can't compare things that can't be quantifiable. You just can't. There are too many outliers. There are too many variables that we just can't take into consideration. So when you use the internet, especially when you're using it to try to find some peace of mind or some comfort regarding your mood disorder, you need to look for similarities, not differences. And you need to not let things scare you because you don't really understand how they should truly apply. So let's say you read a story about someone who's been depressed for 2 years, they say. What they might not be, relaying to you in their little blog post is that they were severe for a few months to a year, and now they're more mild to moderate, maybe dysthymia. You might see someone got better in 3 months, severely depressed, suicidal, they had to be hospitalized, but in 3 months, oh my God, they are good as new. And then you're sitting there like 6 months depressed being like, this doesn't make any sense. Why aren't I getting better? And then you start obsessing over that. Everyone is different. That's the most important thing to know from this video is everyone is different. So when you're using the internet, you're looking for similarities, and you are understanding at the same time while looking for those similarities that there are differences. And so, when someone looks at me, what I want them to see is someone who was once so severely depressed and suicidal that he was hospitalized and on countless medications and had to live in a room next to his parents because I was so fragile, right? And now I own a home and I'm about to get married and I can go to work each day and I try to be a productive member of society and I don't feel hopeless every second of every day. I want you to take that from my story, right? I want you to know that, hey, look, he overcame it. I wouldn't want you to obsess over the in-between time when it took forever to get there, when I thought it wasn't going to happen. There are so many nitty-gritty details that just don't matter. The biggest picture here is that a once severely depressed person overcame his illness, and you can too. And so when you research, just keep that in mind. I know this sounds perhaps a bit elementary, maybe it sounds kind of patronizing, but just keep in mind that we're all different. We have different circumstances, different variables, and while you will absolutely find people whose story mirrors yours more, which feels great, it feels great to know other people can relate to you and can connect with you on some shitty subject matter, you just have to understand that largely there will be things that will apply to you that won't apply to others. Maybe you'll be more gifted in certain ways and more fortunate in other ways. You're gonna be like, this is bullshit. I don't get why that person is doing so well and or why they responded and I didn't. You take everything with a grain of salt. You don't spook yourself and you don't come to conclusions. Let's finish it there. Do not come to conclusions about your recovery, your chances of overcoming anxiety and depression, your specific situation. Don't watch videos like these even with guys like me who tell you my story and don't be like, well, that means I'm fucked. I'm completely screwed. It's written because if so-and-so can do this and I can't, then there you go. You have to be reasonable, and it's an unreasonable time when you're depressed and anxious. So just be careful. I don't know how I was able to keep this topic going for 5 minutes. I'm a talker. I'm a fucking talker. But it was really on my mind. I just want you guys to surf safely. That sounds so fucking silly, but surf the web safely. Look for similarities, but understand there will be differences. Your story is your story, and no matter what you think, You can overcome what you're going through. You can make it. You can be okay. You can survive and find a life worth living again. So search safely. Surf safely. We'll see you guys in the next video. I hope this made sense. I hope you don't feel like I was talking down on you. That was not my intention. I appreciate you guys so very much, and I look forward to seeing you in another video at a later time. My name is Noah. Take good care of yourselves, guys, and let me know in the comments below. Have you done this? Because I've done this, by the way. I'm not telling you I don't do this and or haven't done this. I'm constantly doing this, and I have to remind myself, chill the fuck out, big man. I don't really usually refer to myself as big man, but maybe I should. Hey there, big man. Chill the fuck out and find those similarities. We'll see you guys in the next video.